Hello and welcome. My name's Shelagh Rogers, and I have the great honor of being the Chancellor of the University of Victoria. And I'm about to have a conversation with someone I've wanted to have a very private conversation with for a very long time, and that is President Jamie Cassels. Thank you so much for being with me.
Oh, thank you, Sheila.
And I guess you could characterize this as a little bit of an exit interview, but I want to begin with your reappointment, which was 2 years ago. You'd done 5 years. I was on the reappointment committee, and I really learned what it took to be a president. And I said to you, this is an awfully hard job. And you said, yes, it is, but it's also the best. What makes it the best job?
Well, what you've described is part of what's great about it, because boy, the days go by quickly, and man, you learn a lot on the go. But I think what has made it the best job is, for me, it's about the cause and the company. What could be better than higher education and the discovery of new knowledge and the mobilization of knowledge, and then creating educational pathways for students. It's a wonderful cause, and the people we work with makes it great company.
For sure. Were you born to be a university president?
Oh my goodness, no. I once said no one was more surprised than me that I became a university president, but it was actually no one was more surprised than my parents. my own educational journey had lots of twists and turns, and this is not where you would have predicted I would have ended up.
But you've ended up at the University of Victoria for 40 years. What has inspired such loyalty to UVic, do you think?
First of all, I mean, UVic for me has just been a wonderful place to have a career. It's a place where I've been able to live out my own values through my work. It's been a supportive environment. And it's a place that is populated by hugely talented people, staff and faculty, who work in a collaborative and collegial way. And I've had about 5 different jobs at the university over that time, and have hugely enjoyed each one of them.
You've had a really immersive experience at the University of Victoria. How have you seen it grow over your time as president?
I think there's maybe a couple of things really stand out for me. The first is the growth of the campus, just in terms of facilities and in terms of people. We have developed wonderful university facilities for research, for educational programs, and for work life and student life and athletics and recreation. And the campus has become busier as well. So it's more animated than it was 10 or 15 years ago, and I've really enjoyed that.
It's also become greener, and I really look forward to talking to you so I could bring up the district energy plant. One of my favorite buildings on campus.
It's beautiful.
But it is beautiful, but sustainability has been such a passion for you, and a value that you have been able to live out as president.
Yeah. So that's one of the things that's really rewarding about the job, and I feel gratitude for, is a place where I can work in an institution that's been aligned with and often ahead of my own set of values. I think, Sheila, I love the wilderness. I love the natural environment.
The ocean.
The ocean. I care about the globe. What better place to be a university president than at a university where all those things are in its DNA as well, stewardship of the planet.
And you've ensured that it is going to remain in our DNA for a while through the strategic framework, which has been acclaimed everywhere. You must feel very good about that.
Well, the strategic framework, again, I feel gratitude that we've been able to articulate a narrative about the university that seems to authentically reverberate across campus, and the focus on sustainable futures, and that means that sustainability in our educational programs and our research focus and the way in which we operate our campus all come together, and people have picked that up and run with it, and I think you're right. I think that's going to have momentum in the future.
Jamie, I have been able to get access to your installation speech when you were installed, and you did a wonderful, you made a wonderful promise to the university, and here it is. The promise I want to be measured against is this: that in everything we do at the University of Victoria, our choices and actions will be guided by the goal of making the world a better place through our mission of education and research. How do you feel about that promise? How do you reflect on it now?
Well, I don't remember the exact words that I'd use, so thanks.
Well, here they are.
Yeah. Thanks for reminding me, but I feel pretty good about that. I think that promise is reflected in the vision and the mission of the university. I think across campus, there really is a service ethic that people do what they do because they want to make the world a better place. And again, it's wonderful to be part of an organization that has that kind of ethic.
You've been talking a lot about what's so great about being a university president. What's your thinking behind leaving?
I'm happy for the university, and I'm happy for myself. It's the right time. And when I say it's the right time, I made the decision a year and a half ago. And that was, things were different then than they are now. But I've had a wonderful career of leadership at the university in lots of different positions. I looked at the momentum that the university had, and I thought that momentum is positive, it's very, very forward-looking, and the university is ready for a change. And I'm at a stage of life where I'm ready for a change. Now, that was all pre-pandemic. Then a pandemic intervened. But I actually still feel that way. We're in different circumstances. It's a different environment. But I've been reaffirmed in my confidence for this university by seeing how everyone has responded, the resilience, the innovation, and the adaptability. So I continue to feel very positive that this is a good time for the university to have a change.
That's just a typical Jamie Cassels answer, because I've watched you closely for the last 6 years while I've been Chancellor, and I know you've been President for 7. But I see you taking challenges and refocusing them as opportunities, and the pandemic is just one example. But you came up with a metaphor that has guided your thinking and the university's actions through the pandemic. Can you talk about that?
Sure. So I do understand that the pandemic has turned everyone's life upside down. It has created a situation, none of us signed up for what we're experiencing. Our students are not having the same experience that they might have expected. Our staff and our faculty are grappling with moving forward on our mission in a way that none of us ever would have expected. And so there are challenges. There are challenges for us individually, and there's challenges for the university. But as I look at those challenges, I see, well, you could say, oh my gosh, we're facing a cliff and we could fall off. But I don't see it that way. As I think about what the pandemic, the challenges that it's throwing up for the world, I've never seen post-secondary education and research as being more important than it is right now. And I see us as building a bridge across that canyon, that education and new knowledge, that's what we need to go through and across the gap that we're currently facing.
I really appreciate that reframing of looking at it that way. It's great. Yeah. I want to ask you, what has moved you the most during your time as president?
I think it's mostly the what I see in our people, the extra effort that that staff make in order to improve their area of the university, the amazing innovation that a faculty member might experiment with in their class, the incredible work that our students do to try to take what they're learning in the classroom and take their passions and move it into the world. So everywhere I go, I run across these little things, and it's all of those individual things that then I go home at night and I go, that's what it's all about. That's what reaffirms my faith in the value of the university.
Here's a question you're going to hate. It's, and I hesitate to ask it to someone like you, and I know humility is a value for you as well. But what do you think your legacy is going to be?
Well, I think I've mentioned to you, Sheila, legacy is not a word that sits comfortably for me, but I was thinking about what I wanted to achieve and what I wanted to contribute. And when I think back 10 years ago, 15 years ago, I saw the University of Victoria emerging as one of Canada's strongest research-intensive universities. And I also saw it emerging as a place that still kept students at the center of its mission. And at least part of the narrative that I've always tried to voice for the university is that we can be the best research-intensive university that maintains that focus on the centrality of the student experience. And in fact, we can integrate those things. And so that our discovery of new knowledge through our research is enriched because we work with students, and the students' experience at the university is enriched because they are at a research-intensive university where research culture is at the heart of what we do.
I'd say, I know you don't like the word, but it's a terrific legacy. You and I have joked often, especially as we're going into convocation. I just want to take people into that moment. We're just about to go on to the stage. We are in our regalia, and you do something with your hat. Well, I'll tell. You poof it up. And then somehow that just seems to dispel all the nerves. And it does it for all of us, which is a real gift.
Well, I think it's important always to try to have some fun when you're doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
And yes, when I pull my hat up, Jeannie or someone will reliably come and pat it back down so that as you and I are walking out onto the stage, I don't embarrass you.
But I know that is a day you love.
Yeah. Well, that's a day when we see the results of the work that we do, and I know that you feel the same way. That it's grounding, and it reminds us again. As I've said, what's so great about this work? It's the cause and the company, and that's the cause.
Well, when you were installed, you talked about feeling like an appliance. And I think you referenced a dishwasher. I referenced a refrigerator. But you know what I'm looking forward to? Jamie Cassels Unplugged. I wish you all the best in the next act. Thank you very much, President Cassels.
Well, Sheila, thank you very much. I've really enjoyed the conversation. It's been a great opportunity for me to express my appreciation to all of our colleagues, staff, and faculty across campus, and for me to thank you for everything that you do. I've hugely enjoyed working with you and our partnership in this great cause.
It's been so much fun, and it's been a real honor. Thank you so much. And thank you very much for joining us.